today we're going to be looking at Lime Crime Unicorn Hair in Strawberry Jam. Sorry the angle is a little bit weird right now. I really need a new tripod. It's so jacked up. Two of the legs aren't even like fully connected anymore. I think I have to just buy a new one. That being said, I probably won't film the part where I'm applying it to the hair because it's just too complicated with how it's all going, and I think I'm gonna have a lot of comparisons to do throughout the video, so I'll let you know the measurements and stuff at the end. I do have my swatches labeled 1 through 13. 1 is green, 2 is like a dustier blue, 3 is like a lighter pink, 4 is a natural red, 5 is black, and then through 12 we have platinum blonde, and then a toned version of platinum blonde. I'm going to apply the dye and I'll meet you back here. On the very top of each swatch, I did direct dye, and that means I just took it right out of the container and applied it. In the center, I did 1/4 of a teaspoon of dye and a teaspoon of diluter, and then on the ends, I did 1/4 of a teaspoon of dye again, but this time with a tablespoon of diluter. Okay, so I've been getting multiple comments about dyes not looking the same on your hair versus what I'm filming, so I am going to put a disclaimer in my videos now. However this turns out, there's a decent chance that it's not going to look exactly like this on your hair, whether that's undertones or porosity or a number of other circumstances. Dye has a tendency to look different on everyone. Actually, it was kind of funny. What reminded me to say this, I was on Arctic Fox's Instagram and they posted a picture of someone who used poison in their hair, and somebody commented and they were like, "This is clearly not poison. This is way too pink," or something like that. And then somebody else commented and they're like, "Yeah, it looks different on everyone. On me, it looks just like this." So even though it's a red dye, it looks pink on some people. So Lime Crime, they make a series of dyes that are considered full coverage and a series of dyes that are tints. Strawberry Jam is considered full coverage, so we'll see if it'll dye the darker swatches as well. Based off of how this looks so far, I think I will be comparing this to Arctic Fox's Electric Paradise for sure. I think I'm going to compare it to Virgin Pink from Arctic Fox as well. I think that's all the pinky ones I've done so far, but we'll see as we go. I got a new tripod, and I didn't realize just how crappy my other tripod was until I used this tripod and I realized I've been suffering this whole time. But anyways, so I'm not really sure what to say about this dye because the color isn't what I expected it to be. Let me go on the Lime Crime website and see if there's anybody wearing the dye. Okay, so I think I'm not the only one who thought this would be a different color because looking at the reviews online, 134 people that thought the color result was different than expected. And then also just looking through people who left pictures and stuff, I think it's pretty accurate. And then some of the lighter blondes, I don't know if they diluted it or not, but they have very like rose goldy vibes. It's really pretty on them. So I know earlier in the video I said we're gonna see if this dye does the darker swatches because it is full coverage, and I would say it did. Even on number 6 on the direct dye portion, you can see like kind of like a reddish undertone. It just gives like a warmth to the hair. My personal favorite swatch is number 2. This like kind of muted pink is one of my favorite colors in the whole world. Number 1, it was kind of expected that the diluted ones wouldn't really dye because it's green. The top portion almost has, I don't know, like it looks pink, but it looks kind of like orangey. I don't know how to explain it. It's interesting. I like number 4 a lot too. It just gives, I don't know, I think having the red undertone, it almost looks natural, but not quite. I don't know. I like it a lot though. Number 13 is interesting because it's just so much more like cool toned looking versus the rest of the swatches. But I want to say compared to Virgin Pink, it's probably still not that cool tone, which we can look at actually. So this is Virgin Pink from Arctic Fox. It would be comparable to number 13. And just looking at it like that, it's clearly very, very cool toned. Makes number 13 not look cool tone at all. This is Virgin Pink, comparable to number 12, 11, 10, and 9. Comparing the two, it really does help to bring out the strawberry in the lime crime one. I wanted to see, this one is comparable to number 4. And even though I did like the Virgin Pink over the red, I think I like the strawberry jam a little bit more. It really brings out the natural red tones in the hair. Alright, so this is Electric Paradise from Arctic Fox. This would be comparable to number 13, 12, and 11. The only one that I think looks relatively similar would be number 10. Somehow toning the hair underneath takes away that super neon look that Electric Paradise has, and it brings it down closer to the lime crime. This is comparable to number 10, number 9, and number 8. Electric Paradise is relatively pastel in its own regard. It's not a super pigmented dye, I guess. So the Strawberry Jam definitely did a better job dyeing the darker swatches. This would be comparable to number 7. And this is comparable to number 4. Especially number 4, you can really see a big difference there. Number 1 for the Electric Paradise almost looks like it wasn't even dyed. I'm pretty sure it did dye, but you can't tell as much compared to the Strawberry Jam. Quickly, I did want to just show Ion's Flamingo compared to this. It's not really that similar, but I know it can be helpful sometimes just to see dyes next to each other. So this is comparable to number 13, 12, and 11. I mean, maybe the end of number 13 is similar to the toned Flamingo, but that's about as close as it gets. Now that we've seen everything compared, let's get into the close-ups. Thank you so very much for watching. I do have a Google form down below if you have any requests, but I feel so bad. Just keep in mind that I do only do cruelty-free, not tested on animal dyes. So if you put in a request for a brand that does, don't feel bad. Trust me, you're not the only one. I haven't really been saying it, so it's my fault. I also have my dye schedule linked below if you're curious, along with my Patreon. Thank you so much again for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video.